Welcome. Today, we're diving into TSE and BSE compliance, specifically for excipients and raw materials that come from animals. We'll explore what these terms mean, why compliance matters, and how it impacts safety and quality in our products. Let's get started. Let's start by understanding what TSE and BSE are. TSE stands for transmissible spongiform encephalopathies, a group of fatal brain diseases caused by misfolded prion proteins. BSE is one type of TSE that affects cattle, better known as mad cow disease. This matters because humans can be exposed to these prions through contaminated animal materials, leading to a rare but serious illness called variant Creutzfeldt, Jakob disease. That's why it's crucial in pharmaceuticals, where animal-derived ingredients like gelatin or enzymes are often used. One of the biggest concerns we face is the risk of contamination from infectious prion proteins. These are linked to diseases like TSE and BSE, which we absolutely need to avoid. Our main goal is clear. We have to make sure every material we use is carefully sourced and processed to minimize this risk. Many common pharmaceutical ingredients come from animal sources: gelatin from bones and skin, lactose from milk, magnesium stearate from animal fat, and others. Knowing where these materials come from helps us manage safety at every step. When it comes to regulatory expectations, manufacturers have a clear set of must-haves. They need to show controlled sourcing, full traceability, thorough risk assessments, and proper supplier qualification. On top of that, processing controls must be appropriate and consistently applied. Various global guidelines back these requirements, from the EMA's focus on minimizing TSE risks to the EU's emphasis on supplier qualification and the FDA's guidance on animal origin material safety. Together, these standards form a framework that keeps quality and safety front and center. Let's talk about risk when it comes to different tissues and materials. Some tissues are considered high risk, like the brain, spinal cord, eye tissue, and tonsils. On the other hand, lower-risk materials include things like milk derivatives and highly refined tallow derivatives. The risk depends on several factors. First, the animal species, bovine, sheep, and goat materials tend to carry higher risk. Second, the country of origin matters based on their BSE risk status. Third, the specific tissue's infectivity plays a role. And finally, how the material is processed can reduce or increase risk. When it comes to regulatory expectations, we need to document the country of origin for all animal-derived materials. This is crucial because different countries carry different levels of risk. Some are considered negligible risk. These are our preferred sources. Others have controlled risk, meaning they require extra assessment. And then there are those with undetermined risk, which we try to avoid. This classification follows global standards from WHO and WOAH, guiding us to choose suppliers from certified disease-free regions whenever possible. When it comes to qualifying suppliers, there are a few key documents we always need. These include declarations like TSE and BSE, certificates of suitability, and proof of where the materials come from. We also require detailed descriptions of the manufacturing process, animal species declarations, and traceability records. On top of paperwork, we conduct supplier audits, establish quality agreements, perform risk assessments, and review any changes carefully. Above all, good manufacturing practice demands full traceability, from the original animal source right through to the finished pharmaceutical product. When it comes to managing risk, we start by enhancing how we qualify our suppliers and adding extra layers of traceability. Here, we see a formula that sums up individual risk factors to give us a total risk score. In this example, the total comes to 7, a moderate risk level for TSE or BSE. This means we need to put additional controls and documentation in place to keep things safe. Each factor, from bovine origin to purification processes, plays a role in that final score. When it comes to manufacturing risk mitigation, we focus on key processing controls that help keep things safe. These include high-temperature processing, chemical treatment, filtration, hydrolysis, and alkaline treatment. For example, gelatin manufacturing uses acid treatment, heat processing, and filtration. The main goal here is to reduce any theoretical risk of prion infectivity. Regulators expect that the manufacturing process clearly shows it can minimize those risks effectively. This is a critical part of ensuring product safety. When we talk about TSE and BSE compliance within GMP systems, there are key quality system requirements we need to keep front and center. This includes maintaining an approved vendor list, managing change control carefully, handling deviations promptly, implementing corrective actions, and ensuring material traceability. Documentation is just as critical, from TSE declarations to batch traceability, audit reports, and supplier qualifications. And remember, any change in supplier, country of origin, or manufacturing process must go through a thorough TSE-BSE impact assessment. This keeps the system robust and compliant. Our regulatory objective here is clear. We need to demonstrate patient safety and full compliance. This means providing detailed information in specific sections of the common technical document. For example, Module 3.2s covers the active pharmaceutical ingredient, while Module 3.2p focuses on excipients. We also include a risk assessment annex, especially for things like TSE and BSE evaluations. Alongside these, common submission requirements include declarations, certificates, risk reports, and detailed descriptions of material origin and process flow. All of this builds a strong, transparent case for safety. Let's look at an example of traceability compliance in action. We assessed 25 suppliers in total. Out of those, 23 had complete traceability documentation. To find the compliance percentage, we divide the compliant suppliers by the total, then multiply by 100. That gives us 92% compliance. This level is acceptable, but it also tells us that a couple of suppliers still need follow-up to meet the standard fully. Now, let's look at the corrective actions we're taking to address common compliance issues. We're requalifying suppliers and updating documentation to close any gaps. Our audit program is getting stronger, and we're implementing CAPA, corrective and preventive actions, to fix problems and stop them from coming back. We're also reassessing risks continuously. On the slide, you'll see typical problems like missing declarations or unapproved suppliers, their causes, and the impacts they have on compliance. This helps us target solutions where they matter most. Let's look at a case study involving a gelatin capsule manufacturer. During a regulatory audit, they found incomplete documentation related to the bovine gelatin source. Digging deeper, it turned out the supplier had changed the raw material's country of origin, but hadn't communicated this through the proper channels. There was no updated certification either. To fix this, the company audited the supplier, secured the correct documentation, revised their change control process, and stepped up supplier monitoring. In the end, compliance was restored and the regulatory issues were closed. To wrap up, managing the risks of TSE and BSE is crucial for using animal-derived pharmaceutical materials safely. It's about keeping patients safe, meeting global regulations, and ensuring quality throughout the supply chain. Achieving this means we need strong supplier qualification, thorough scientific risk assessments, full traceability, and solid GMP systems. These elements work together to keep everything compliant and reliable, protecting both people and the integrity of our medicines. Thank you for joining me today. If you need any further support or have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. Take care, and I look forward to connecting again soon.